Straight Talk Politics here. Sunday morning, the 22nd of December, I believe. Can Trump be stopped from taking office? The answer may surprise you. If you like this content, please press the like button, share it with friends, comment, subscribe, use notify. We need your help. We're going to try and build this into a force to be reckoned with and do interviews and everything the big channels do. And we're going to be honest and straight talk to all forms of politicians: Democrat, Republican, progressive, liberal, MAGA, non-MAGA, independent. We're going to give you straight talk and ask straight, hard questions and then demand answers for the American people. So, and okay, we're going to pause for an edit here. Okay, back to the please like, share, comment, subscribe. There's a Jessica Dennison out there who I just discovered a couple days ago, Friday, on YouTube, and she's I don't know what her title is. She's a YouTuber. She may have a law degree. I'm not really sure. But she raises some interesting issues and paths. Is Donald Trump not going to be inaugurated on the 20th of December, 20th of January 2025? Well, if he's got a pulse, he's going to be inaugurated. That's my feeling. I'm not a lawyer either, but that just seems to be my opinion. But she does describe a possible path that could be potentially enforced if our politicians in this country had a backbone, but they don't have a backbone, so you can kind of forget about that already. But anyway, let's go through it and see what Jessica Denson's plan is. Denson. If you're just enjoying this podcast, please make a comment. I will answer you. We'll get together. We'll see if we can work together. Can Trump be stopped from taking office? Is today's concept, today's topic. Obviously, Jennifer Denson says yes, it can be done. It can be done through the 14th Amendment, the Insurrection Clause. She puts a path up that I've never seen anybody else use. And she's got an audience. She doesn't have 1 million followers, but she has 20 or 30,000, and she has guests, and it's a more standard podcast. I'm not regularly appearing on camera yet. I will when the time is right, when the audience is built. I'll do it if I have to, in order to build an audience as well. But she's ahead of me in development, and she's got some interesting legal concepts. Let's go through what she has to say. She says that the reading of the 14th Amendment is all that is needed. How do you enforce it? Well, the reading of the amendment is as follows. If you are, according to the text of the amendment, if you are an insurrectionist, if you have done an insurrection against the government, it requires a 2/3 vote of the United States Congress, both houses, to lift the status of insurrection from you. How you get the status, she's not clear on. She says the 14th Amendment is clear on that already. Probably we should read that amendment. Maybe that'll be a second follow-up article we'll do later this week. I don't know, but to go on this journey with Jessica, you have to say, all right, an insurrection has happened, and how do you call attention to it is interesting. You raise the issue of a disability to take office under the Insurrection Clause. This requires a 2/3 vote of the Senate, not both houses of Congress. I was wrong about that. So how do you raise it? Well, you can simply raise it by a vote in the Senate. A majority vote in the Senate can say, yes, a state of insurrection does exist due to the actions of Donald Trump on January 6, 2021. And a 2/3 vote of the Senate is now required to lift that disability. This disability prevents you, under the amendment, from taking the oath of office. You can't become president after you've done an insurrection, even if you're elected as president of the United States, as Donald Trump has been. This approach raises an issue, but the only mechanism of enforcement is the Supreme Court. You can say that there is a the Senate can raise the issue and debate the fact that there is a disability of insurrection, but in order to enforce it, and the only thing that's required to raise the issue is a majority vote, which the Democrats have for another week or 10 days. But the problem is the only enforcement mechanism the Supreme Court would have to give an order saying, yeah, you're right, the two-thirds vote is required for Trump to ascend into office. And the Supreme Court is corrupt. It made up a whole new law with no basis on presidential immunity, and it's not going to do that. It's not going to issue a stay or an order. All you have to do is do an emergency. After the vote fails to get two-thirds in favor of lifting Trump's disability, all you need to do is file an emergency request for relief under the insurrection clause to the Supreme Court. And an honest Supreme Court would say, yeah, you're right. That was an insurrection. It's obviously an insurrection. Therefore, Donald Trump is not eligible to become president without the two-thirds vote of the Senate. A real problem with that, however, is if Trump were theoretically prevented from taking office, that would put J.D. Vance in the Oval Office. No, sorry, people, you're not going to get Kamala or Hillary back. They didn't. For Kamala to get in, she'd have to actually win an election, and she didn't. But J.D. Vance would become president because J.D. Vance is not guilty of insurrection under a dictionary definition of the clause. Therefore, J.D. Vance, since he was elected vice president, would automatically become president based on the disability of Donald Trump. It would be the same legal effect as if Donald Trump was to pass away prior to taking office. So then the American people would need to decide which is worth, Trump 2.0 or Vance 1.0, because that's the only choices you have here. The insurrection clause can't prevent Trump from taking office, and preventing a guilty person who intends to violate the law, has stated his intention to possibly violate the Constitution. That is a legally defendable clause, but that leaves you with Vance 1.0. And he could become president and be very difficult to remove him from office because he hasn't done anything wrong yet. And his views on abortion are quite a bit to the right of the views that Trump stated. So his views on many things, but especially women's rights. He honestly believes the 19th Amendment, that women shouldn't even have the vote. I could find YouTube footage to that effect. So honestly, the mechanisms of the government to keep Trump's extra legal interpretation of the Constitution under control are much better than Vance, who has stronger beliefs and could use presidential power better. And the fact that Trump is 78 years old and may be senile, or senile some of the time, or may become senile, would limit his effectiveness in office. And I think it would be better to have Trump 2.0 than Vance 1.0. That's my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. All right, thank you. This is another episode of Straight Talk Politics. Can Trump be stopped from taking office? Please join our team. Become a podcaster. You reach out to us by simply making a comment saying, I want to be a podcaster. I want to join your team. If you're critical of Israel, that doesn't disqualify you. If you're blindly anti-Israel, that does disqualify you from joining this podcast. Let me know. Once again, if you like this content, interesting idea, Jennifer Denson is the podcaster you want to read to check into the legalisms. And I may do a follow-up on this one. Comment, subscribe, notify. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you tuning in for this video. Thank you again.